Hello everybody, I am Moldy, and this is Shadows over Loathing once again. In the last episode, Charles Wallace went missing, so we came here to the Big Moist looking for him. Emptied to magnify the misfortune of my stolen daughter. Any idea who did this? Yeah, this guy's daughter has run off, and he's assuming she was swallowed whole by this Occam's gator, but we'll look into that. Anyway, who did this though? I can't prove it yet, but I'll be damned if Occam's gator did not have his claw in this. Any chance your daughter could have opened the safe? Impossible. I never told her the combination was 3. When did this happen though? 3 nights ago. I'm still in shock. I can't even muster the strength to close the safe. I can do that for you. It's not hard. Would you? Sure, I'll close your safe back. Bless you. You're very welcome. It's a mess through there. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mean it's messy. I'm saying that's the room where we have meals. It's that type of mess. Oh, they only really use that term in the armed forces. You don't consider fishing to be part of the armed forces? What do you think we use to hold the rods? I don't know, your legs? Don't be dense. I'll be as dense as I want to. The public is welcome to visit the Tracy family's mess hall if they'll pardon the mess. Yeah, I'll go on in. Well, this ain't so messy. Take a bottle of bass oil. Well then. Why, it's glued to the table, bottles, crate, the whole thing. You now notice the reverse of the sign, which reads, if you can. Take the sign. Well, I got the muscle for them bottles. Yoink. Huzzah! You break the bonds of glue with a satisfying thwarp. And I got me a crate of bass oil. And the sign. That's my sign now. He can't have it back. It says, take a bottle of bass oil, just sell it. If you can. Yeah, I'll sell it. And that's for the speakeasy. Anyway, the fridge hums with a quiet menace, or maybe it's the motor. The only item inside is a sardine salad sandwich in a cardboard box. The box is labeled, Adams, do not eat. Do eat! Yeah, fuck this guy. Your signs can't stop me! Ah, the sandwich smacks of something foul and deeply wrong, as if the food had rotted itself to punish your minor transgression. It reminds you of the story of your friend Eve, who ate a forbidden window display sandwich and was cast out from the Garden of Eden restaurant. Well, good for her. There's bass thawing in the sink and in each of the drawers. Yeah, let's splash some bass water on my face. Ah, that's better. Oh, I lost my original sandwich effect. Well, it was probably bad anyway. It did say it was rotting in my intestines to punish me. Looking for something? What's back there? Crew quarters, off limits. You live here. Where the fish live, we live. I see. Guess I'm not allowed to go in there. Only the Tracy family isn't allowed in the private quarters. You need to find another entrance, or think about marrying in. Well, one of those is out of the question. And that guy does have a daughter. Anyway, let's go see the other family guy. A viscous puddle reflects into a gloomy face. Oh, it's this guy, not just the puddle. Talk to the puddle or the man? The puddle, obviously! Hello, sir. Okay, now let's talk to the man. What's the matter with you? She left me. Who left you? Amphibious truck. Oh, so not a person? No, I'm more interested in amphibious trucks. Well, what happened to your truck then? Our truck. It's the company truck. We use it to take the fish to market. A couple nights ago, I forgot to fill her up before bed, and that must have really ticked her off, because next morning she was gone. No note, nothing. Are you suggesting this truck is sentient? It's funny. I would have thought so, but I can't see any other explanation for it running off the way it has. Could it have something to do with the missing kids? Tom and Kathy? You'd have to talk to Mr. Chapman or Mr. Tracy about that. Maybe they took the truck. I don't know, seems like a stretch. Well, when did children go missing, though? Same day as the truck, but I think that's probably a coincidence. Yeah, Occam's gator got the kids, truck ran off to go do its own thing. Makes sense to me. Well, what's the puddle, though? It's the gas I never gave her that night. It's here now in our special place waiting for her. waiting for her to come home. Is it working? Obviously, you can see that it's not. How far could someone have gone in the truck? With the gas left in her, it couldn't have gone further than 100 miles. 100 miles? Okay. No, 100. Sorry, 100 is fisherman's lingo. It means 11. Missing truck, huh? That's a shame. She'll be back. She has to come back. She'll run out of gas otherwise. Then, where'll she be? Well, good luck with the truck. I gotta go. So, something fishy going on up in there? Yeah, let's see. Is this the Chapman? Yep, it is the Chapman house. A surly fisherman yearns for a glorious death at sea, not to wind up behind a desk. Hello there, I wonder, do you ever wish you'd had a glorious death at sea? Many a sea creature has tried to give me one, pal, but before they could get their teeth in me, I've reboned them 6 ways to Sontag. He spits a wad of chewing tobacco out the door. Just fires that thing out of his mouth like a goddamn cannon. Guy Chapman, Chief Reboning Officer, Largemouth Bass & Sons, and you must be Garplot, the one I hear has thrown in his lot with that woeful deboner next door. Surprised I know your name. Well, largemouth bass have ears. Yes, they do. I'd like to talk about your son. I'm not sure I want to discuss my son with a confederate of Kathy Tracy, that Jezebel of a deboner's daughter. She's a delinquent sorceress who never cared a Walt Whitman for what we do here with largemouth bass, and she led my Tom into the belly of Occam's Gator. Oh, Occam's Gator? I've heard of him. Chapman's cheeks darkened to the murky hue of a humpback anglerfish. What the hell does that even look like? As long as there's been a largemouth bass and sons, there's been an Occam's Gator. To our great misfortune, I'd venture that there's no creature of land nor sea quite so terrible. 12 feet tall he is, red as a furnace with smoke billowing from his nostrils. He and his rapacious appetites are a plague on our business. He'll eat everything we've got, largemouth, mouth bass, everything. The way you just described him sounds kind of like more like a dragon than an alligator person, but go on. It keeps me up at night wondering what we did to deserve him. Is it a sin against the land to both debone and rebone fish? Perhaps, but damn it, that's what gives our bass its zing. So, you're being a little sexist, don't you think? Not remotely. I'm not saying anything about her gender at all. I'm only saying that she may have got my boy eaten by a gator man. But when you throw out words like Jezebel, that sounds a little loaded. Is it? Well, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm willing to change, but you have to be patient with me, alright? I'm old-fashioned, and I can't keep up with these new ideas your generation has. Gender, penicillin. Yeah, penicillin's a bit of a stretch, but gender, that's easy to comprehend. Anyway, what about the Occam's Gator? He sounds made up. There's nothing made up about a big red gator man who eats pipes. One of our guards saw Occam's, even took a shot at him. Unfortunately, conventional weapons have no effect. Wait, are you saying you haven't seen Occam's Gator? I've seen the damage he's done. I've seen that all right. How is Kathy responsible, though? That is the important question. Well, the arrogance of youth, Kathy Tracy never thought she had anything to fear from Occam's Gator. She didn't respect him. Several times I caught her attempting to summon the beast by shouting his name 3 times in a mirror or directly into the mouth of a bass. It was always gonna end with her in Occam's belly. I just didn't think my Tom would be fool enough to go along with it. Well, do you think Tom could have run away on his own? Absolutely not. Tom's a 3rd-generation bass boy, proud and true. Why, just largemouth, he said. I'm excited about my future reboning largemouth bass, Dad. Does that sound like the words of a boy with 1 foot out the door? No, there's a simpler explanation. The siren song of Kathy Tracy, who lures good men into the bellies of gators. Well, alright then. That's all I wanted to talk about, your son. That's all I wanted to answer. Well, I'm looking for someone myself. Charles Wallace. Is he a fish? No? Then I'm not the person to ask. I'm a fisherman, friend. My bag is fish. You're looking for a human. You want to be asking some sort of human fisherman. You are a human fisherman. His expression turns sour now that you've poked a hole in his premise. He has lost interest in the conversation. Okay, I don't know where your friend is, alright? Well, what do you do here? I'm Chief Reboning Officer at Largemouth Bass & Sons, like my father before me, and etc. It's a wonderful life, a good family life. Well, good for you. I'm gonna poke around in your kitchen and stuff. This must be the mess, right? It is, where we proudly served reboned fish, just the way we like it. I don't want to see you slipping any bones out of that fish, you hear? Well, you definitely won't be seeing that. It's a mess hall back there. I guess I'm not allowed in. What about this? What's back here? Your quarters? And how would you know that? That's where Mr. Tracy and his, maybe the two of you are more similar than you'd like to admit. Back off, Freud. Can I go inside? Into our family's private quarters? I'd sooner let a dogfish loose in my socks. Is that something you do? Rarely. Well, what about this one? What lies beyond that door is only for fishermen. What is it? Fish. Can I fish here? Ah, well fine, what about the cat? Fishermen's cats are a touchy sort and regard unproven outsiders with the highest suspicion. Pet the kitty, the cat avoids your touch. You get a sense that only true loyalty to the fisherman's cause will overcome its suspicions of you. Alas! Someday, perhaps. The chum bucket is inscribed, a stranger is just a chum you haven't met. The bucket is secured to the floor. Those are decorative. And the chum inside? It's the very first batch of chum ever made by Largemouth Bass & Sons back in the summer of 1803. It reminds us of our humble beginnings. Can I have it? No. What about this one? Champagne for my real chums, real pain for my sham chums. Well, y'all got some nice sayings here. What about this skeleton? Lo, with the reboning knife of righteousness has the complete bass been forged. The Book of Karass. Okay. So, 2 missing children. The sign identifies these waters as a site of historical importance. This pool is the birthplace of largest mouth Luke, a bass present at the signing of the Declaration of Dependence on August 2nd, 1792. He returned to his home waters to die, but his body was never found. Maybe someday it will be found, but we'll just have to see about that. Anyway, there's the Gatorman hamlet. I also want to investigate this plume of smoke. Anyone gonna stop me? Hist, get an eyeful of these 2 big palookas over there. Hist. Molly points out 2 burly men dressed in leather and furs, burying the body of a dead gator man. Well, considering the swampy ground, they're less burying it and more just covering it in mud. They look up in surprise as Molly saunters over nonchalantly. What's the dope, Bruno? You fitting a lizard with a Chicago overcoat? Uh-oh. Nah, doll, it ain't like that. Ain't it? My peepers ain't. Oh, geez, Buck, come look at this. What you showing me? Take a closer look at the body of the gator man before it disappears into the mud. He's dressed in some kind of uniform, with an official-looking cap and epaulets, and a big canvas bag. These 2 mugs must have gone blipped a mailman. That's a caper that'll bring the G-men down on you like a ton of bricks. No, look, we didn't. I tell it to Sweeney, but don't flip your wig, sugar. We ain't pigeons. We won't rat you boys out to the flatties. I appreciate that, miss. We've set up something of a good trading post here for leather goods and the like, if that tickles your fancy. Well then, we can go check that out after we can check out the plume of smoke. Oh, a leather store? Let's go and have a look-see. Leather jackets aren't exactly in style. Maybe not, Buck, but a gator skin handbag is always the Ritz. Yeah, after the smoke. Smoke first, then we look at the leather worker and... Is that a scarf that you're wearing or some kind of mechanical arm around your neck? Well, what's going on, pilot? Seems like you've got kind of a problem here. How you think? Yeah, 3 kinds of problems. I got, if you don't count the headache. My plane being stuck ass downwards in this swamp is just the most obvious one. Anything I can help with? My name's Garplot, by the way. Rhonda Rasmussen. Hi. And yeah, if you got some time on your hands, you can bet your buns I can use it. What happened? I'm looking to be the first to fly a plane all the way around the swamp in one go. See, nearly made it too, but the first to fly nearly all the way around the swamp won't be making any newspaper headlines. Now look at what I got. A plane half buried in muck, tainted fuel, and even if I get those sorted out, there ain't enough runway here to get me flying again. Well, that sounds pretty bad. The plane seems real stuck. Oh, you noticed, huh? It's sticking up out of the ground there. Uh-huh, right? Yep, it sure is. The way Rhonda's staring at you starts to make you a little uncomfortable. Yeah, how about the fuel? What's wrong with the fuel? When I landed, the fuel tank got full of swamp water, which I don't know how well versed you are in the chemistry of aircraft fuel, but not good for it. Not good for it. So I siphoned the tank dry, figured it wouldn't be that big a deal since I got a can of backup fuel. Well, let me guess, that's full of water too? Ain't nothing so bad that it can't be a little bit worse. Yeah, how can that be fixed, though? Well, technically, yeah, it just needs to have some water distilled out of it. I don't have anything like that kind of equipment, though. Maybe I can dig something up. That'd be great. Any basic distillation setup should do the trick. It ain't rocket science, just airplane science. That's a much slower kind of science. Well, you ain't wrong. Well, here's the can, watered down plane fuel. And what's involved in building a runway, though? With enough tar and macadam, I could slap down a quick and dirty runway, dirtier than quick for certain, but it'd be good enough to get me out of here, and I got plenty of tar, but where did you get that barrel of tar, anyway? You know, that's a funny story, but anyway, I needed a load of macadam to go with it, and I don't know what macadam is. It's like gravel for fuss budgets. For my purposes, I need a load of rocks exactly 3 centimeters across. That isn't very many rocks. Each individual rock is 3 centimeters across, not the whole load altogether. Oh, I could look for some rocks that size. Well, that'd be great. Come to think of it, I did pass an old quarry on my way down. Didn't get a close look because I was kind of distracted, but I can mark it on your map for you. Well, Feldman Quarry, I guess that's where we're gonna go. I can't go myself, I need to stay here and guard the tar. Yeah, you keep your tar guarded. And this is the most diagonal plane you've ever encountered. Well, I can yank that shit out of there. Or I could use 4 oxen in a wagon tongue or other things I don't have. Procrastination. You consider all the possible ways which you might extract this plane from its current state of diagonality. Well, fucking telekinesis. I ain't got the mysticality for that though, but I can rip that bitch right out the ground. There is no plane so diagonal that it can't be straightened out via the sufficient application of force. You crack your knuckles, bend your knees, and haul the entire plane out of the mud with a single mighty heave. Hoorah! There, your plane's a little less stuck now. Hi, got your plane unstuck. I saw that was a hell of a trick, I gotta say, I'm duly impressed. Aw, shucks. She's still caked in mud and weeds and all, but I guess that comes with the territory in a real literal sense. Nothing a little elbow grease can't correct, plus maybe a little regular aircraft grease. Yeah, that might also do it. And I don't have anything new to report, so away we go. Let's head to Feldman Quarry. We'll find those rocks for her, and possibly some way to unwater that fuel. You see a plume of smoke coming from behind a nearby clump of trees and brush. As you draw nearer, the sounds of ragged cackling and giggling can be heard. Oh, could it be a coven of real swamp witches? Sadly, no, but what you do find is possibly even weirder. A gang of scraggly-looking swamp hillbilly vampires tending a ratty old still. Oh, hi, you fellas cooking up a batch of corn? Nope, rats. Ew. Of course, now that you're here, a whole nother recipe comes to mind. I can brag about my blood. Let's see what that gets us. Just try it, literal suckers. My blood's as strong as I am. In fact, with all the cardio I do, it's probably even stronger. That don't make even a lick of sense, feller. I'll give you a lick of sense. My blood whiskey will wear your kidneys for boxing gloves and thrash your liver like a speed bag. Bam! Okay, never mind. Pow! Go away, please. You're scaring the rats. Hoo-ha! Yeah, all it takes is a little intimidation and you don't gotta fight no vampires. Are those some stanky-ass rocks? Okay, they're smoldering because somebody used them for a campsite. That makes more sense. Anyway, I'm all out of time for this episode, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.